There's no way that even if I wanted to go ahead, that I actually could. At this point, I've got to figure out for myself what to do. Hello and welcome to Season 4 of Proposal Breakdown. My name is Adam, I'm the founder and CEO of Better Proposals. In this season, we're looking at 5 competing proposals for the redesign of a website for a music festival. Our next proposal is from Big Cat Designs. Let's go. Okay, Cat Designs, let's see what you've got. So, first things first, if we thought that the last one was in a letter format, this has taken it to the extreme. This starts off looking like a letter to your local politician. We're talking logo on the left, address in the top right, title, and Dear Carla. This couldn't look more like a letter if it tried. The problem with this thing looking like a letter is while it might have like a personal kind of touch to it because it's sort of set out like a letter, it's for a website. It's for something that's visual. It's a design thing. You're a marketing solution and you've written it like it's a letter to a GP or something. It's straight off to a bad start. There's absolutely no visuals in here whatsoever. So that said, it's short. It's 2 pages. So it's certainly not going to take an awful long time to produce. Not a lot of effort got into it, but also it's not going to take you long to consume either. That said, from a content perspective, it does address the situation well. They've very clearly listened in the discovery phone calls and in the brief. They are referring to a lot of the problems that would have been discussed in the discovery call. They're using language that would have been mentioned in the discovery call. So straight away, this is relevant. So they've got straight to the point. They've started talking about the solution, the potential solution, and what they can offer, and they've done it in a pretty good way. They've not gone overboard with jargon, which again is a really good thing. It's really easy to get caught up with that. Very, very easy, and they've managed to steer very clear of it, which is really good. So they've very clearly laid out what pages are going to be designed. So they've not gone too mad with it. They've not gone and written loads of stuff. They're just like, these are the pages we're going to do for you, and that's it. So this is good because it works for the type of website that they're actually pitching for. It's a simple website. It doesn't need a lot of info. They've got something cool here, planning workshop, which is wicked. I think that's a really nice touch. They know that they're going to have to do a second or third round of discovery to get the materials, get all the copy done, get the images, get any video stuff. They're going to have to collect that information somehow, and they've wrapped it up in something called a planning workshop. Really cool. Really, really good idea. I think that's really smart. They've not gone too over the top with timescales, but they are in there. So again, that's a good thing. They could add a little bit more detail in there. Like, give me a little bit of an idea how long the design phase is going to take. How long is it going to take to put it into production? What's the testing phase look like? So they could pad that out a little bit. Again, it's kind of harmless. There's 6 to 8 weeks. It's relatively short in time. So again, it's harmless. It's not a problem. It's definitely not going to cause any issues, but maybe a little bit more information there would give somebody a little bit of reassurance if they haven't done this too much before. So if you've bought from tons of different agencies and you know your way around the block, this is fine. You know what to expect. But if you haven't, a little bit there to reassure somebody might not be a bad idea. The costs are very clear. 8,450 plus VAT, and then they've told us what it is including VAT, which is good. They've mentioned website hosting, which they've said is optional, but at least it is there, and they've got a price for that too. So that's good. This is cool. Then it falls down. There's no way that even if I wanted to go ahead, that I actually could. At this point, I've got to figure out for myself what to do. So because this is set out like a little bit of a letter, there is no call to action. There's one line in here that says, on agreement of the proposal, we'll discuss and agree a payment plan for the project. That's weak. That's really, really weak. And it's a shame because they've been quite strong in their words up until this point. So they've made some really clear points and they've got to the point with it, which is really good. And at this point, it just falls apart. So they need a call to action here. They need that next steps. They need to say, right, brilliant. If you're happy to go ahead, this is what you need to do. You need to click here and you need to sign. You need to print this out, fax it back, send a smoke signal, whatever. Any instructions. Get a carrier pigeon to send it to our office would at least be a call to action. But there's nothing here. It's left up to the person reading this to figure it out for themselves and what to do next. You don't want to be doing that. You just want to spell it out for them and tell them what to do. There's no social proof in here. So this could be their first project. So if I don't know, if they haven't got anything else that's going along with this letter, which there isn't, it's left up to the reader to try and figure out if they're good or not, and there's nothing to go on. There's no case studies, there's no testimonials, there's no examples, there's nothing. Case studies usually for something that's solution based are the way to go forward, because you're at least saying, look, somebody came to us with a similar problem to the one you've got. This is what we did about it, and these were the results. So a case study is, for anything solution based, is almost essential. There's no terms and conditions here, so I've got literally nothing to agree to. So this is not something that I could actually agree to and go ahead. It's possible, and I don't want to cast too much judgment, but it is possible that if we went back to them and said, yes, we want to go ahead, they would then send a contract and something to sign. So it's possible they split this up into 2 sections. And if they do that, I would argue that there's not an awful lot of point, because it's an $8.5 grand job. It's very clear what the project is. The spec is very clear. There's no reason for this to split the legal part up and put it somewhere else. Put that into the proposal, have some nice clear instructions on what to do next, and that's it. I do like this last section though. Although it's a little bit weird, it's kind of abrupt, they do have a little piece in here which mentions that they're a full service agency. They've got all these other skills and other services that they can offer, but it's kept at an arm's distance. It's like, look, we can do a couple of other things for you if needed, like just so you know that we can do them. So if you need any video editing stuff, if you need any of this, if you need digital marketing, we're here, but no pressure. And there's no price for it either, which is actually kind of a nice thing to do. So I think that's quite cool. It's subtle, but it does let them know what to do. So I would say with this, I would say it's probably undercooked in terms of its design, and I think some of the sections could be a little bit more padded out, like the timescales. All in all, pretty good stuff, just missing those fundamentals at the end. Need the next step section, need a clear call to action, definitely need your T's and C's in there. Wouldn't be a problem if they added some social proof in there as well. All in all, starts off really well, and then it's just missing those fundamentals at the end. Get those sorted, and this would be pretty good. This is absolute madness. So the only thing worse than not having any terms and conditions at all is linking to them somewhere else.